Hey, I'm Randy Younger, New York City's go to film enthusiast. Every week, I dive deep into the world of cinema with special guests from the New York City film scene. Whether I'm interviewing industry insiders or comparing the latest releases, there's always something for every movie lover. Join me as I explore the magic of film and discover what makes these movies unforgettable. Hey guys, I'm Randy Younger, and it's a very special edition of Under the Radar, bringing movies and people together one frame at a time. And with me today, I have a very, very special guest, actor, author, scholar, musician, and real life Buckaroo Banzai, Dr. Peter Weller. Peter, welcome to the show.
Yeah, thanks a lot. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot. Thanks
Yeah,
a lot,
yeah.
Randy. No, we were just talking about you have the Back to the Future posters in the background.
Yes.
And I was doing RoboCop
Hmm.
in Dallas when that film came out.
Hmm.
And Chris, I've done a couple of plays and movies with him, and he remains a dear friend, as does Jeff Goldblum. And
Great.
Chris is born on the same day as Goldblum. Goldblum, I think, is like 10 years younger, but Chris is like still 4% body fat and weightlifting. And I just want to like a shout out to Chris whenever I can because uh, he is possibly one of the two or three smartest cats. Somebody said to me in a car the other day
Mm.
in Montreal, said, "Aren't you the smartest?" Somebody weighed in. Weller is like the smartest, one of the smartest people in entertainment. I said, "No, man. We're not compared to Chris Lloyd or Richard Dreyfuss, or James Woods. I'm a dumbass, man. Particularly Chris Lloyd, who is
Well,
like a
I'm
savant."
I'm pretty sure you can blow them out of the water in art history. So
Yeah,
I'm
maybe,
almost
maybe. I
positive.
don't know.
Almost.
I don't know. Dreyfuss is like a well-read dude, man.
Okay.
So yeah.
Fair enough. Fair enough. So you have a new film out. It is an action thriller called Bang, about a
What
hitman.
fun. It's fun too,
Yeah.
man.
So it's basically about a hitman who becomes a target, and you play the crime boss. You look like you're having a lot of fun in this role. What attracted you to the project? Curious.
Okay, so the first thing that attracted me is that Peter Lenkoff, a dear friend, wrote it.
Hmm.
And he was the Top Gun on Hawaii Five-O, on the reboot of Hawaii Five-O. And one of the episodes I directed that he wrote, because the showrunner doesn't always, or the creator doesn't always write all the shows,
Hmm.
was this thing with I think it was Timothy Murphy played part an episode about a hitman who had a heart transplant and had a change of heart,
Right.
and was essentially then they came after him. So he called me up and said, Wick, and Kawasananda, I always mispronounce his last name, but he's a gifted director, but I mean gifted. And I don't throw that out lightly because there's some people who are like good, but he is incisive and really interpretive, and he takes a great story and makes it sing.
Hmm.
And so I knew a couple of Wick's movies, and I said, "Okay, Peter, what's?" He says, "It's the show you directed, the episode you directed in Hawaii Five-O, that he wrote, but expanded into and developed into more of a relationship, much more of a relationship movie than the episode was." And indeed, so I read it. I thought, man, I love this thing because you know what it's really about? It's really about a father who doesn't want to let go of his son, or his adopted son. That's what it was saying to me as, yeah, it's a great action movie. Yeah, it's really about Jack going on a different path.
Hmm.
Uh, but to me, what I got to scratch the surface of a role and go, what's this really saying?
Hmm.
And that's like some actor studio Russian Harold Klorman stuff, but you got to go like, what is this really about? And so
Right.
what it's really about is it didn't take far to look. It's really about a guy, an aging hipster doesn't want to let go of his kid. That's it.
I like it. I really wish I saw more of you in the movie, actually, because you were fantastic. I love the role. No,
You
you're
know,
you're
I,
chewing up
I
the scenery. It's great.
I don't know. I don't watch myself in movies. I'll watch it once. Somebody says come to the premiere,
Mhm.
and I think, oh, because I'm so judgmental, and so, yeah, every actor wishes he was in the movie more. And the only movie that I'm glad I wasn't in more was because it was essentially really a difficult time in my life playing a difficult guy was William Burroughs in Cronenberg's film, which was
It's great.
one of the great opportunities of my life. And Cronenberg's gift, talk about gifted.
Oh
Cronenberg
yeah,
is like,
I actually
Love him.
I interviewed him a couple weeks ago at the Tribeca Film Festival,
How's
and
he doing, man? I haven't
he,
seen him in a couple of
he
years, man.
was so nice, so down to earth, and it was just a great thrill to meet him to talk about his work. It was for the 50th anniversary of his movie Shivers, and
Wow, shivers.
yeah, so and his work with you in Naked Lunch was also fantastic. That movie is so crazy and so
No, but
out
you know
there.
something, Randy, it just came out in 4K for
Right.
Disney, just released it in 4K. And I
Nice.
was just at the Vidiots premiere 3 weeks ago.
Okay.
And so I haven't seen the movie. Like I say, I don't watch myself, but there I was, had to introduce it, sit and do some promotions and stuff. I took my 13-year-old son, who's a smart guy, but uh, man, to sit with it with my kid and watch that,
Yeah.
and the next day take him to school. This is and I was looking at Cronenberg. I had this epiphany about Cronenberg. I know we're going to talk about Wick and Bang and so forth, but
Right.
the talent of a great director is, to incisively or deconstruct and put back together a great script.
Right.
That's it, to tell the story visually, but to make the drama work because it's not all in the shots and focal lengths, as Kazan would say. But I was watching a movie and I said, Cronenberg's gift for taking the craziest, what
Yeah.
we would deem or endow as the craziest, and making it absolutely palatable and
Right.
understandable and traceable. And only he, after so many attempts to do Naked Lunch, um, realized that you can't do that book unless you're going to animate it in CGI, man, because there's a bunch of vignettes.
Right.
But to take the journey of Burroughs, aka Bill Lee, in the book, transfer it to Burroughs and make it about his journey and how he wrote the book and what he's trying to run from.
Wow.
Uh, Man, that's Cronenberg. That's Cronenberg's talent, man.
And I
And
think it's
that's what he is.
yeah.
He's Mr. Normal. And to
Yeah.
take that stuff and make it Mr. Normal is talented, man.
Any plans to work with him again?
You know what? I'd always like to work with. There's a couple guys I'd love to work with again. As a matter of fact, I am blessed by. I'm sure, like as Brando said, everybody's an asshole in movie business for a second, whether or not you slap yourself awake, and realize you're just, no matter what your paycheck, it's just a 9 to 5 blue collar gig in the
Yeah.
service of entertainment. Thank God. I think I got to slap myself awake and start to be humble. But I went through my particular period of asininity, but
Hmm.
I'm sure that I was just talking to a great director, Christian Duguay, who directed Screamers. Right? It's not a movie I've done really that that I had a terrible time on. So there's a couple directors that were, and people were just like, I don't know if they were up to the jazz and so forth, man. A couple times I had to help some people out. It's fine. But most of the time when I'm making movies, and it doesn't matter whether it was shoot, man, whether it was Sidney Lumet or Apted or Woody or Cronenberg or Verhoeven,
Hmm.
I'm just happy that I've had great times on a movie set. So I'd like all of them, I would work with it again in a second, man.
Now,
So,
speaking of Verhoeven, obviously RoboCop. I'm pretty sure you get asked a bunch of questions about this movie more than any other in your filmography.
well, listen, go to Thailand and make bang and see how many questions about RoboCop you get asked, man. There you go. Because in Asia, particularly Thailand, that thing is off the charts.
Oh, I can imagine. What's the fondest memory you had from RoboCop?
The difficulty of going through the movement and then finding out that I had to adjust it with Moni Akin uh, was one of the finest things. The experience with the whole Robo team with Rob Boutini's group putting on that suit, the
Yeah.
prep of that, I just, I hated and then I loved it. And I became, because I was also training for a marathon. So I
Mm.
got into this groove of
Right.
being that thing. And if you see the doc, don't believe Randy's Oreo thing because I don't eat Oreos. And I think he resented like not being able to talk to me because Verhoeven essentially shut the doors on anybody talking to me while I was on the set,
Mm.
except him and the Robo team. So that insular thing of allowing me to be that robot was one of the great things that I experienced. The other thing is in the movie itself, when Paul pointed out that I'm going to have those dreams on my own, and I didn't quite understand it. Before Lewis comes, before Paul McCrane recognized me, I said, what's this about? I didn't understand it then because I was not like in tune with myth like Paul was.
Mhm.
That the soul is waking up on its own. The soul is God given, cosmos given, infinity given, right? That's the one thing they can't take from you, and it's waking up on its own, and it's
Hmm.
going to search for an identity. And
Right.
that's Paul, man. I mean, yeah, you take average Joe,
Mhm.
in all deference to Los Angeles, where I live and love. You take average director, they're not going to get that. Paul would, and Paul did, and so that's it. And also taking off the helmet, I can feel them, but I can't remember them. That's maybe the
I like it.
the damn movie's a tragedy, to tell you the truth.
It
But those are
is.
the moments.
It,
Those are the movies.
and you
Those
know
are the moments I remember.
And I'm curious because obviously you played this character who's a machine. And what are your thoughts now compared to 1987 and today regarding AI? I'm curious about your thoughts on that.
Well, more curiously, I'm saying, that the more curious thing to me is that I knew that would come about. I mean, H.G. Wells said it would come about. Jules Verne said that would come about. So that's going to come about.
Right.
The most amazing thing is the historical repetition of socioeconomic stuff that Ed Newmeyer and Mike Miner based on Reaganomics.
Mhm.
Despite how profitable it would be, it would rip off, the middle class and social and just trickle down. We got to privatize everything. We got to own it.
Mhm.
That whole thing that's come to roost again and again and again is the thing that really, resonates with me.
Mhm.
Look, you're talking about favorite moments. Like get back to Bang. My
Mhm.
favorite moment is Bang. When I'm saying about Nero and Seneca, like you don't get to retire. You don't get to retire.
Yeah.
That is one of my favorite moments in Bang,
Okay.
where I
Yeah.
get to go. You don't get to go like I'm out.
Right.
You know, you don't get to
It's a
walk
lifestyle.
away.
It's a lifestyle choice. And yeah,
That's exactly right.
yeah.
And once you sign up for this gig, you're in the gig. So
Right. That's it.
yeah,
Once you're in your, you're not coming out.
you're not. Yeah.
So, aside from your movies, you're iconic, but a lot of people don't know that you're an art historian. You have a PhD. You also have a wonderful book. It's
I'm going to let everybody photograph this if they want right now.
okay.
Leon Battista Alberti
Yes,
in Exile. There's the Q code.
there it is.
It's as far as academic books go, they ain't cheap, but there's 216 beautiful photographs that'll walk you through the Renaissance.
Okay.
And it's a little controversial topic in terms of Renaissance stuff.
Right.
And the Renaissance is controversial because it's got the Ninja Turtles. And so
Okay. Um, how did the book come to be? Talk about the beginning of it all, your fascination with art. Where did it all begin?
it began with Ally McGraw, the great and beautiful Ally McGraw, who most people think of as remember as like married to Steve McQueen and in The Getaway and in Love Story and and a model and so forth. But how Ally McGraw really began her art journey was she was studying at Wellesley. She studied design and art history. She was a stylist. She was one of the girls of the year, the it girl that Diana Vreeland of Vogue would pick.
Okay.
Sylvia Plath, the poet, was one. Baby Jane Holzer, and Allie was one. And so Allie's friends, when I started hanging with Allie after the movie was over, her friends were the literati and glitterati of
Hmm.
art world, literature world. She didn't hang out with many movie stars, man. I was going to parties. I mean, there's Betty Friedan, the beginning of National Organization of Women, and there's, Gertrude. I mean, there's Gloria Steinem, and there's Erica Jong, and there's Plimpton and Truman Capote, and my God, I was just overwhelmed. I was overwhelmed. My mother, spent time in New York. I say this over and over again because if you're blessed with a great mom like I was, who was loud and aggressive, she said, "Hey, I see your name in page 3 of the Post running around with Ellie Monroe. What's that like?" I said, "I feel like a dumb shit. Pardon
Hmm.
the S word." But
It's fine.
she said, "Why is that?" I said, "Because I don't know what to say." My mother just yelled. She says, "Well, don't say anything. Just shut up and listen." And so, so that's what I did. And she took me to the MoMA exhibition of Picasso
Hmm.
before the Guernica, the famous painting that indemnified the horror
Hmm.
of the Nazis bombing the village in Spain.
Hmm.
Went to Spain after Franco died and Spain became a social democracy. I said, I don't want to go see a bunch of squirrely lines because she insisted I go from 5 floors from Picasso's figurative realism all the way to his abstract impressionism. I was sold, man. But the thing is, you study the Renaissance.
Hmm.
I study on my own, and you get to the Renaissance. I didn't want to study that. That's just not art.
No.
That's poet. It's poetry. It's architecture. It's politics. It's
Hmm.
war. It's economics. It's just a milieu stuff. And then the great cinematographer Vittorio Storaro, 5 Oscar nominations, Apocalypse Now, Last Emperor, Sheltering Sky, Dick Tracy, Conformist, what have you. I embarrassed me into it, man. He said, have you seen Giotto in Padua? I said, I don't know who you're talking about. He says, Giotto, the very first guy ever, that one painter in the Western world that everyone has ripped off.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter if we're talking about Rembrandt or Mark Rothko. They all go back to Giotto. I said, I don't know who you are talking about, man. And he said, you know what, Peter, we can't talk about art then.
Okay.
And I was so embarrassed. And then I went to see Giotto, thanks to Vittorio. And I thought, okay, the very first movie narrative in 1 by 1 4 frames of depth, color, emotion, light, feeling,
Yeah. That's what did it.
structure, and that got me into it. So it's movies. It's
Yes.
movies that got me into art. It wasn't vice versa. I wasn't one of these guys like my mentors, like Mike Nichols and Sidney Lumet, and or, who knew this stuff because they had a or Scorsese, who knew this stuff because they had a fascination with it. I was the dumbass, man.
Yeah.
I was the thug at the back of the class, had no interest in it. And
Okay.
then I was embarrassed and shoved into it, buried into it.
Wow.
And by the way, if you look at the acknowledgments, the first people I thank are Maria Canelli of FIT and in Brooklyn Academy, uh,
Hmm.
and Ali McGraw and Vittorio Storaro,
Yeah.
who I those are the people who got me in movie people got me
Yes.
into art. There you go.
Now, art to movies, obviously art, or it is, or it definitely used to be very important in film. And, they came out with a RoboCop remake in 2014. No art there. I didn't even bother to see it. I was just curious about your thoughts now about remakes, reboots, and sequels and how there's no more art in cinema.
Wow, let me name drop. Okay,
Okay.
so I was just having a conversation with David Fincher, the
Mm,
great David Fincher, about this very thing a couple of days ago. And he was basically making that point about, and I'm generalizing
mm,
about what he was talking about, but where the art and the finesse
right.
of the film has gone.
I mean,
He didn't,
it's still there, but you got to
it
search.
is there,
It's there,
but
but in small amounts.
you got to find it.
You do. Agree.
Yeah. Okay. And the gift of Fincher or somebody like Mike Nichols or somebody like that or Scorsese, you're going to see it in their movies
Yeah.
because they're gonna like slap you in the face with it. But you got to go hunting for it and basically anything else.
Right.
Um, and there are some great movies out. Yeah, there's some great movies that came out last year.
Sure.
But it's not just like the wonderful world of 1964 to 84, man. Of like,
Mhm.
you know, I don't know, man. It's not like Taxi Driver, French Connection. All of a sudden, Spielberg throws out E.T. and you're just
Yeah.
going like, wow, man, this is movie after movie after movie. So I think you're right. I think you have to go look for it now. And I don't want to denigrate it because it's
Yeah.
my lifeline, it's my lifeblood. It's been giving me 50 years of like happiness and so forth. But yes, it's okay to be critical of it without denigrating it.
Yeah.
And I don't hold with sequels too much. I mean, look, the greatest sequel ever made, I think, without a doubt,
Mhm.
um, is Godfather 2.
Yep.
So,
Or Aliens. I really love Aliens. I think that's
okay, Aliens is great,
yeah.
but I'm not like destroyed
Yeah.
when I first see
Fair.
that first one, man.
Got
That
you.
first one, that first Alien is considered by the Worldwide Wire Services being one of the 10 scariest movies ever made.
Yeah. Sure. Sure.
Ever made. And when you first see that thing,
Yeah.
when that thing comes out of John Hurt's gut, man,
Mhm. Chest burster. Yeah.
yeah, that's it. So
Iconic. Yeah.
yes, I mean yes, okay, Aliens is a great sequel. Okay, I'll give you that. And right now, knock wood, I'm prepping a sequel. I can't talk about it. It's a big secret,
Okay.
but it's a sequel.
Gotcha.
And so some sequels are great. Most are not. Most are
Yeah.
not because they don't flesh out their own particular story like
Gotcha.
Aliens and Godfather 2 did.
I know they're not as powerful now, obviously. I want to mention Bang is in select theaters now and on digital and on demand. And Dr. Weller, how can people get your book?
Okay, you got to go online. You got to go to Amazon. Leon Battista Alberti in Exile, famous guy, Renaissance guy. Everybody said he came to Florence, saw the Ninja Turtles, and wrote the first modern book on painting. I say BS. He saw a lot of other stuff, and this is all the stuff he saw.
Awesome. Peter, thank you so much for your time today. Uh,
Pleasure.
Yeah, I'm Randy Unger. This has been Unger the Radar, bringing movies and people together, one frame at a time. We'll see you next time. Take
Thank
care.
you, Randy.
Thank you, Peter. Hey guys, I'm Randy Unger. This is a special edition of Unger the Radar, bringing movies and people together, one frame at a time. And with me today, I have a very special guest. We have the talent from the new romantic dramedy, A Nice Indian Boy. We have filmmaker Roshan Sethi, and we have actress Sunita Mani. So, guys, thank you so much for taking the time today. The film is wonderful. It's funny. It's sweet, and it's a very
Thank
special
you.
film. I'm sure you guys had a blast making it, and I just want to commend all of you right now and say it's a great film.
Thank
Thank
you
you.
so much.
Of course, of
Thanks for
course.
watching.
Yeah, of course. Thank you. So Roshan, let's see. Oh, and I mispronounced it. I'm sorry. So
Oh, I don't
Roshan,
care.
sorry.
I don't even notice. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So
It's actually Raymond.
is it? Can I call you Ray?
No.
Can you imagine? Yeah.
That's funny. I'm just curious. So I know this story is near and dear to your heart. What made you want to bring it to the screen?
I just love the play and the script, which both of which existed before I came on. It's a recreation of DDLJ, which is an old Bollywood movie that I had grown up loving as well. So it was just the content of it because it's about being a gay Indian and I'm a gay Indian, but also the style of it because it's written in a very populist, commercial, widely accessible way, not as like a slice of life indie, which would have been, I think, a harder thing to get off the ground.
Hmm,
And I wanted to make a story like this that could be seen by everybody.
that's awesome. And Sunita, what brought you into the project? What attracted you to it?
Roshan and Karan off the bat. And then I got the script and I was so into it. Like the script is so well written and I don't get scripts like that coming to me very often, especially ones that I think are like very good.
Mhm.
Meaning like the characters are real and
Mhm.
deep and nuanced and we are just getting a good full story and also a heartwarming one and like a comedy.
Yeah, and it's such an interesting tone that
Yeah.
Roshan that you established here. I mean, it is a very, raw story. It's very important, but it's told in a very lighthearted way. But there are
Mm.
moments that are kind of intense and dark, I saw, and just very gritty. But
Mm.
Roshan, you really struck a great tone here. What was that process like in creating that tone?
Yeah, I think as long as the comedy and the emotion all come from the same place, the same sort of reality, and are grounded in the same kinds of things, you can actually contain infinite amounts of each of them. And people are looking for that combination of tone more than we realize. They don't actually want to go see a dark, harrowing, gay trenchant drama, and they don't want to go see like a completely frivolous light one that doesn't acknowledge the realities of our existence. So putting it in between, I think, is the best way to approach that. The other thing I think is that in general, audiences don't want to go see message movies because people don't see movies as a chore or as homework in order to be educated on something. They want to go to a movie for an experience, and the experience that the script and then later the movie offered is just, for me at least, what it leaves you with is joy and happiness and hope.
Totally.
Things I was most interested in because if I had written the script, it would have been so depressing. But
Really?
really, yeah, because I'm a more emotional person, and the comedy all comes from Karn and Sunita and Zarna.
Hmm.
Definitely doesn't not spilling out of me.
Right.
But letting those things in is the most important thing. The way that I have current in my life is the way that there's comedy in the movie.
I like that. I like that. It draws from something deep within. Sunita, this is such an amazing cast. What was it like working with these fine people?
So easy. No drama. It was instant connection. I felt like I'm often like one of the few Indians on set sometimes, or the only
Mm, okay.
at times. So to be like on this set where everyone is most everyone apart from Jonathan, but we're all South Asian. So we were just like hair down, gabbing, like shared experience, shared language. There was so much that comes out because of that. Like we're able to get I don't know, really comfortable and really personal right off the bat. And for me, the character was just, it was just like right there, ready to spring out. Again, because I don't get to play characters like this very often, or like at all. But they're very far and few between, I guess.
Yeah.
So it was a blast. Jonathan is the best, just to say it. We
Mhm.
know it. I mean, truly just like open book, really wonderful to play off of. Zarna is incredibly natural and skilled and adaptable. Like this was her first feature, but
Mm.
I feel like my character was carved out of hers. Like our dynamic is very potent in the film. Like we are kind of volatile and you're like dropping into it.
Okay.
You're not seeing the before and the after, you're seeing like they're in the middle of this argument that they've
Mhm.
had for years. So to get there was like pretty easy, but I think because she has such a strong backbone as that character, and I was able to like have a strong one to play off of that.
Mm.
So that was like that was the most unexpected, I think. And
Huh.
like some of my favorite parts are like getting to be in scenes with Zarna. And then obviously Karan is like, I'm obsessed with him. He's so funny. I could watch him all day on camera. Like his face is so beautiful and so expressive, and he's so funny. And
Yeah.
he can really, I think, balance the tone that you're talking about
Right.
so easily. It's very much who he is.
It's
And
awesome.
Harish doesn't speak English.
Oh my God, Harish.
Yeah, he really doesn't speak English because he speaks in English obviously in the movie, but when you speak English, you
Yeah,
don't really know what you're saying. And
yeah,
I
Oh,
didn't direct him. He didn't really need it either because I can't speak Hindi. And Kern asked him, Kern, who does speak Hindi, like, how did you do the Marvel movie, The Eternals? Because he's in The
yeah,
Eternals, big
Hmm.
part of
yeah.
it. And he said every time Chloe Zhao came over, he would just nod, but he had no idea what she was saying, and he never for the entire movie understood a
Oh.
single word he said. He just
And just
Yeah,
to
there
give
was.
him his flowers, he is
Yeah.
incredible. He is like his
so
timing,
good.
his comedic timing. He
He's
knows exactly what he's doing. It is so fun to watch
he has
because
so much to
you kind
say.
of can't tell necessarily because, language barrier. Also,
This
yeah, there's not a lot of distinction
this sounds like an act like a
between what's going
real
on.
family. This sounds like an actual family. You guys on
Yeah,
set.
it was.
I love
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
And you guys obviously you drew from culture and experience to inform the story. I'm sure, Roshan.
Yes. Yeah, yeah, totally. I think so much of our lived realities were in the movie for all of us.
It's so cool. I could see this as a series of films, not just a wedding, but just like every holiday that Indian culture celebrates. I want to see more of you guys. This was great.
Yeah. Thank you
Thank
again
you.
for watching
Yeah.
it. Yeah, no, the
Yeah.
sequel will be a nice Indian girl about Sunita. I don't know what she's up to.
Go single life. We like, yeah. I
Maybe
feel
it's
like
a
Zarna
girls
and
trip with
I,
you and your mom. Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So how's the film been doing? Have you've submitted to festivals? I'm assuming, right? Or
Yes, it's played 4 or 5 or maybe even more festivals, South
nice,
by Palm Springs, Hamptons, and it has 100% Rotten Tomatoes and is highly reviewed on Letterboxd and is coming out on April 4th in
perfect.
theaters. It will expand, so it's like 60 to 100 theaters for the first weekend, then it will expand in success and not in failure. But the
Okay,
reaction to the movie has been extremely positive.
Yeah.
awesome. Yeah,
I'm
it's
so
so
excited for it to hit theaters. It's just, it's beautiful. It's
it
great.
is. It really is. And I learned a lot about Indian culture, and I left the movie feeling very happy. And I think that's
Mm.
what any movie should do, what most movies should do. And again, it's that tone that I haven't really seen much of anywhere in any other film recently, anyway. And Roshan, I just want to commend you once again for that tone,
Yeah.
and Sunita for your wonderful performance. I know that this was a kind of
Thank
a
you.
different character for you, but
Yeah.
you sank your teeth right into it, and you gave us a really challenging and interesting character to see. So thank you for that too.
Thank you.
Yeah, and also,
Yeah.
Selena, while I have you, I just want to mention that you were awesome in Glow, and that show it left us way too soon. So thank you for that as well. And
Yeah.
I
Oh,
hope
thanks for watching.
I hope
I
they
love
bring
it.
that back. It was really one of the best in recent times as well.
Agreed.
You
But I
know,
think it's gone. but I agree
Yeah.
that it was one of the best.
We'll see. I'm rooting for you guys, and we'll see if there's going to be a reunion or something. That'd be awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah, guys. So we're just about out of time here, but I just want to thank you so much for your time here. And the film is wonderful. A Nice Indian Boy. It will be in theaters nationwide, April 4th, and yeah, it's awesome. So I hope everyone goes see it.
Thank you.
Thanks,
That was
Thank
guys.
you. Me too.
Yeah, this is great. So, guys, I'm Randy Younger. This has been Under the Radar, bringing movies and people together, one frame at a time. We'll see you next time. Take care.